All right. So today's topic is going to be on shame. All right. Are you ready? So shame, a topic that many of us don't really even know how to approach it. I guess we have too much information regarding shame, or maybe we just feel like shame is just so taboo, something that shouldn't be talked about, but it's important that we do. So here goes. Shame. Was this shameful for me to take off my wig in front of all you guys? I was watching this show called AJ and the Queen. It's on Netflix and it's absolutely phenomenal. I highly recommend that you watch it. So it has like different episodes, I think up to 10. I think I'm almost finished because that's how good it is. And the Queen name in the show is Ruby. And so Ruby, there's a clip where Ruby is talking to someone. I'm not going to give too much details. Is talking to someone, and one thing that really hit me was when Ruby said, after all, we are all wearing drags, right? And I was like, that's so deep, right? Because it was like a friend of his that was wearing all these different disguises to cover up, some things that she felt that would not ever be accepted by anyone else. So, there was a part where this friend told the Queen, Ruby, to take off that drag. And Ruby responded as a typical drag queen, saying, I'll take off my drag when you take off yours. And so it's like, a little jab in there. But anyway, so shame. Do we even need shame? If you said no, I want you to really, really take a second and see why you're saying no. Okay? If you feel like we do need a little bit of shame, right? Or else we'd be pooping everywhere. I also want you to also reflect on your reasons for saying that. Kind of bring it back to you. As to your reasons for either saying yes or no. So, what I will say from more of a neutral point is that everything with balance. Yes, everything with balance. Even shame has a role. Even shame has something to offer. As much as we like to believe it, some of us will say, no, I don't want to deal with shame. Shame hurts me because I'm shameful because of this thing happened to me. It's just a whole bunch of mess, right? But at the end of the day, there needs to be some balance of everything, okay? That's the reason why I always usually tell people, if you're having a hard time expressing yourself, or you find yourself being self-conscious a lot, really, I'm telling you guys, the secret of life is in women. It really is. You really start to understand these things from the whole woman's anatomy, okay? A woman is really so vulnerable when it comes to that time of the month where she is in her menstrual cycle, okay? Even when she's ovulating. Okay, when we are ovulating, believe it or not, our body is forming into different shapes, and our boobs are getting bigger, our glutes is expanding, our hips are getting larger, our waist is thinning out. And what's going on is that the body's just preparing for that mate attraction, and even that brings us some shame, right? Sometimes we feel like we need to cover ourselves up when we start seeing certain people kind of like looking at you a certain way. You feel uncomfortable. I know I do. Okay, I know that's one of my issues, was definitely that for such a long time. And I don't know. I just felt like it was just so horrible to have someone like check me out in a way that made me feel uncomfortable, and it actually angered me for a long time, because I really didn't have that connection also with my body. I didn't really understand what ovulation was, you know. And so even with menstruating, same thing, you know, having, you know, you're bleeding, and it may spread out to different parts in your body, and you're just like, oh my God, you don't want no one to look at you a particular way, right? Even that was very like shameful, but didn't realize that what my body was doing was purging. Okay. And then, you know, through that, even a woman conceiving, pregnant, with child, you know, having to deal with the changes of her body, the evolving of her body, holding another life inside of her, and then having to really prepare her mind to expose herself, you know, like in front of others, right? Because most of the time we are in this process of giving birth, right? So that's another situation that marks us, right? That we experience. Sometimes birth is beautiful. Sometimes birth is traumatic. Sometimes birth is funny. Sometimes birth is scary, you know? But then we bring another human into this world, and then we notice that human, that little human is so free, carefree, right? So that's why I said through the woman's anatomy, you get to really understand our life, what are certain stages that we go through. So women bring a baby to the world to show how to let go, how to see how that little one explores, and it's not fearful of like going to the next step, right? Then this baby grows up into a child, into a teenager, and from there we start to, or should I say a child, where the child is becoming more creative, and then teenager, where they are getting more into trying to discover what is it that they want, you know. And then adulthood, right, where now you need to kind of figure out, okay, I want to have fun, I want to travel, I want to do this, but how I'm going to get the funds for it, everything, right? So shame plays a different role in every stage that we go through. And it's not until we are put in that position that we could kind of like see it from that angle. So that's why I usually tell people, when someone says, I don't understand why this person's acting this way. I don't understand why this person's acting this way. When I was their age, I didn't act that way. Well, guess what? When you were their age, if you really take yourself into their age again, you realize you were acting that way. Right? And you get to kind of see, oh, wow, this must be so difficult for this individual and for this individual. So shame comes to us in so many different ways. And it's so important for us to just accept that these ways that are happening, that we are witnessing, is coming from a deeper part within ourselves. And if we could just find a moment of privacy, that's why I said privacy will be another topic, but it's very serious. If we could give ourselves that privacy where we could shed and release and just be okay with being ourselves, then we can help manage and balance shame a little bit better. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next time, shame is needed in balance.